So, as promised, this is adding fractions with the model, right? So, some of my students prefer to use this method, or they like to use it for checking their work or seeing it a different way. And there are multiple ways you can draw a model, right? You can draw a model any way you want, but most of the time we try to stick to just the normal boxes and squares, and sometimes they show pictures every once in a while. So. First things first, in addition, you have to draw both models. So that one and that one. Okay? So in order to represent what I need to ask myself what will represent a half, right? So for a half, I just need two pieces. So that one's pretty easy. So I'm gonna come over here, I'm just gonna make one line, right? And I have two pieces. Of those two pieces, how many of those need to be shaded in? I'm gonna look at my numerator for that answer. So my numerator is 1, meaning I need to only shade in one piece for now. And let's shade it in with red. Right? Just giving off some Christmas vibes. So if we come over to the next one, I'm gonna ask myself the question, right? If I have 2/5 is the other fraction I want to represent. So 2/5 is going to then be represented by how many pieces? Let's look at the bottom. If we look at the denominator, that'll tell me how many pieces it is. So the denominator says 5, I want 5 pieces. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna put myself into 5 pieces. I can do it vertically, I can go horizontal, I can do whatever I want, right? I can make 5 columns, I can make 5 rows. For now, I'm gonna make 5 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, give me 5 pieces of equal amounts, because I'm not, the greatest at drawing these little lines, but it's fine, right? So of those 5 pieces, how many should be shaded in? We'll come back, look at our numerator for that. So our numerator tells us 2 should be shaded in. So I'll do that. All right, so right now, this is my 2/5. This is my 1/2, right? My issue here is I cannot add these because they do not have the same amount of pieces. I want both of my stuff, I want both of my cakes, or let's say I call them brownie pans or anything. I want both of these to have 10 pieces in them. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try to find a common denominator, right? So same as last time, you're gonna list out your common denominators. You're gonna try to figure them out. Now, some of us can do this in our head. Some of us can just start drawing the lines to see if they'll match. Or what I like to do is kind of combine both the methods so that you're getting both of them at the same time. And there are a couple more methods out there on other YouTubes that I can try to find as well to give to some of you all. I believe it's called the ladder method, if you want to look it up, for finding common denominators and greatest common factors at the same time. So basically, I list up my 5s. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Right? I list up my 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And of course, you're gonna figure out your common denominator is 10. Right? So you want both of these to have the same amount of pieces. So make sure you always put it out there. These common denominator is 10. So what you want is 10 pieces on both of these. So now you're gonna come back to both of your models and try to figure out, how do I get it to 10, right? So right now I got 2 pieces. I'm gonna multiply 2 pieces by what to get me to 10 pieces? I'm gonna multiply 2 times 5, right? But right now I have 1, 2 rows. So now I'm gonna draw 5 columns to give me 10 pieces. 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Okay. So now I got 10 pieces. Of those 10 pieces, there are now how many shaded in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 over 10. Still got a plus sign in the middle. I'll come back over here. So right now over here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So I got 5 columns over there. So, same thing I did over here. In this one, I got 2 rows and 5 columns to give me 10. So over here, I'm gonna do the same thing. I got 5 columns, but I'm missing my 2 rows to give me 10. Because 2 times 5 gives me 10. 5 times 2 gives me 10. So I'm gonna split this in half, and now I got 10 pieces. Of those 10 pieces, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 still shaded in. So I'm gonna say 4, 10. So 5 plus 4 will give me 9 over 10. So that's the model method, and that some students prefer. For others, yeah, I know some of the parents are like, "What? Well, like, what's all this?" But you know, it's just for most students to see different ways. You know, try to do things. Sometimes it's a little unconventional. Some of us, you know, especially sometimes me when I first learned it myself. But that's what it is. Thank y'all.